Zion Williamson has been all over the internet for his amazing performance throughout the season, but it looks like his body now needs some rest. Recently, the player was seen exiting a game after getting injured, but we wonder how long he'll stay out. In this video, let's find out what happened to our beloved player and what's coming next. Let's get right into it. First up, here's what happened. Apparently, New Orleans Pelicans forward Zion Williamson ended up with a hamstring strain. Due to the injury, he was forced into leaving Monday night's 120-111 loss to the Philadelphia 76ers. The player left the game during the third quarter, and it was reported that he'd need some treatment to get back into shape. So what happened was that right after gathering a defensive rebound off a shot from the opposing team, the player was trying to push the ball up the court. However, something terrible happened right then. Right when he tried to push the ball and cross the half-court line, he pulled up and almost fell to the left corner. While doing so, he passed the ball to another teammate, Dyson Daniels, and that's when everyone noticed the way he was grabbing his right leg. He was injured yet still managed to do something for the team. But still, the shot got missed, and Pelicans center Jonas Valanciunas fouled Tyrese Maxey on a fast break layup. Due to the injury, Williamson had to check out of the game while there was still 24.1 seconds left in the third quarter, meaning the team was to play without him in that quarter. Not to mention, the team made it clear that the player won't be returning midway since the injury was a bit severe. Next up, here's what the Pelicans coach said. After the game ended, Willie Green, the Pelicans coach, talked to the press and explained the situation. He updated everyone about the player's injury and said that it was a right hamstring strain. The coach mentioned that the injury happened at the most pivotal moment in the game. According to him, the team management will also get some imaging of the injury to see how bad it is. He also said that they hope that Zion is okay. After all, it was a tough loss for the team. Later, we didn't see the player when the Pelicans and the Houston Rockets came face to face, and it was revealed that he'd been ruled out. Up next, let's see how long he will be out. For those who don't know, the Pelicans are already facing serious issues since Brandon Ingram was sidelined due to the injury, and now the team star Zion Williamson is also down. Honestly, we think that this could have happened at a worse time than this. The Pelicans are genuinely in trouble, but for how long? Everyone is wondering how long the player will be out and when exactly he'll return. Well, it looks like he'll be missing quite a few games. Reports have stated that this lengthy absence will affect many, but the question is, will our guy ever be fully healthy? So apparently, he's set to miss multiple weeks due to the injury. It was reported that an MRI was conducted, and it confirmed that Williamson's injury was actually quite severe. That's why he was ruled out and won't be back for a while. The New Orleans Pelicans announced on their official Twitter that his injury is severe and the player will be reevaluated in 3 weeks. So his missing 3 weeks is already a done deal, but it could get worse. We'll have to see where this goes. Not to mention, the Pelicans have another one of their amazing players injured. It looks like this isn't the season for the Pelicans. Before Zion landed in the hospital, Brandon Ingram had already gone to get himself treated. The all-star forward Ingram had been sidelined for 18 games since he had a toe contusion, and we can't deny the fact that this guy right here is actually the central piece of the Pelicans. Apart from talking about Williamson, Willie Green also mentioned that Ingram is getting better and building up so that he could return to the team for a blast. But he didn't really specify when exactly we'd be seeing him again. We wonder if he's well enough now to fill the space Zion has left. Now, with both Williamson and Ingram down, the best the team can do is turn to Jonas Valanciunas and CJ McCollum. And while doing that, they can all hope for the other two to get well soon. Apparently, Zion Williamson is actually the golden member. Every team has that one player who always does everything to keep the entire team afloat, and for the Pelicans, Williamson proved to be one for a long time. He's been playing some fantastic basketball throughout the season, and there were several moments when we fell in love with his skills. The loss is apparent, and it'll be tough for the team. The player is averaging 26 points, 7 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game, which is genuinely amazing and is a highlight-friendly playing style. But even with that, it's been a struggle for him to stay healthy and durable for his team. However, we mentioned that during this season, he was mostly okay and only missed 8 of the 37 games the team has played so far. But well, now the number will rise. With him gone, the team is now tasked to keep up with the Western Conference without their 2 best guys. And we believe that even after Williamson has recovered, the team will have to be super careful about the player as he recovers from the injury, mostly because of how important he is to the franchise. It's necessary for the team to make sure that the player is healthy in the long run and doesn't get injured again. At this point, it's his health that's important since the games continue to come around. Now let's have a look at his history of injuries. For some reason, despite being one of the best players, Williamson has always been the best target when it comes to getting injured. Over the years, he's been hurt so many times that people are not even surprised anymore. It's important to mention that the player has never played more than 62 games in any season since he joined the league, and we think he might as well make a record out of this problem alone. Back in the 2019-2020 season, when he joined the league, the player was limited to only 24 games. Why? Because he faced a torn meniscus and had to be put on rest because of it. Not just that, during the last season, he was once again injured, and this time, due to that injury, he couldn't play a single game for the rest of the season as he recovered from a foot fracture. The problems that arose during this time were a separate set of issues. There were several complications during the rehabilitation process, and he was ultimately sidelined. And it goes without saying that the team was at a big loss. Now, once again, he's out, and his team has to survive without him. He was the one who was supposed to get them through it, but well, that's what we call fate. Up next, the team's depths will be tested now. As we mentioned earlier, two big names are not playing at the moment, and the Pelicans are almost as helpless as a baby. But that doesn't mean they can't face any team. Apart from Zion and Brandon, the team has some of the best players. It took the team a long time to finally get some good points in write-ups and everything else, but then they lost 4 consecutive games. On top of that, their best player Zion got injured, somehow proving that the team might actually be cursed. This wasn't very great news for the team since they were already doing it all without Brandon, and it's also pretty much clear how good Williamson is when it comes to playing. He's a whole asset for the team, and the Pelicans understand that. The 22-year-old player had an outstanding reputation among his team as well as the whole league. Many even consider him one of the most powerful and efficient finishers in the game. After all, he's the one who shot about 61% from the field. Not just that, he's also been super lethal when playing in smaller lineups. In fact, he also had several possessions where he essentially served as a point forward for a team that's known for playing lineups that lack the traditional point guard. Not to mention, the team has been doing better with him, even though he isn't playing at the moment. One thing is for sure, the Pelicans really did use the player to the fullest. Since the day he joined the Pelicans, the statistics have proved to rise up. The team now stands with 6.7 points per 100 possessions better. This is the number that shows how Williamson has impacted the league's 79th percentile. And while we're on the topic, we know that it's unnecessary that the team will struggle without the player. Remember the time when everyone thought the Warriors were done without Steph and Curry? Well, this is the same case here. The team is the one that possesses one of the deepest rosters in the NBA and is rated in the top 10 both in defensive and offensive efficiency. Not just that, they've also already gone an impressive 6-2 without Zion during this season. The team features Najee Marshall, who is in fact one of the most versatile forwards amidst others this season so far, and we think that he might get a call to replace Williamson. Yes, it's true that the Pelicans are all set to face some serious competition during these 3 weeks when Williamson won't be able to play. It's also pretty clear that they have some amazing players who know how to keep their place on top. The team will be facing Celtics, Nuggets, Dallas, and Brooklyn in the coming weeks, and it's time for the Pelicans to prove its depths. Also after this, the team has the 3rd easiest remaining schedule in the Western Conference. Lastly, here's what we expect from the team when Zion and Brandon return. Right now, time is hard, but soon both the players will be back, and the Pelicans will then stand tall once again. We wonder how long it'll take to reach that high level yet once again. But one thing is for sure, no matter how good a player is, they are always at risk of getting injured, and this is why every team must be ready to face it when it happens. And with this, it's time for us to wrap it up, fam. What do you think about this video? Let us know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing content soon. See you in the next one.